People who are over 50 may notice specific changes in their eyes. You may notice that the writing in the newspaper seems to be blurring, that you feel more dry in the morning, or that you have begun to detect dark circles where none were before. Concerns about the future occurrence of cataract formation or the probable diagnosis of glaucoma may arise. It is crucial to understand that although many of these changes are common, they are not always inevitable. Imagine being able to use a simple, natural remedy that can safely and efficiently support eye health from the convenience of your home without causing any negative side effects. A substance that merits your consideration is castor oil. Castor oil is much more than simply another oil. Therefore, I urge you to think about its significance for a few moments before you write it off as just an old-fashioned cure or something from your grandmother's day. Compared to most other materials, this substance has unique properties that allow it to enter the skin and tissues more deeply. Please let me know where you're coming from today before we begin. Please feel free to ask any questions you may have and leave a comment below. To ensure you never miss the greatest health advice from Green Glow, remember to click the subscribe button and enable notifications. I appreciate you viewing. In this episode, we'll look at how castor oil can improve eye comfort, reduce dryness, relieve pressure, and possibly delay the onset of cataracts while boosting eye health in a safe and natural way. We will also go over the ways in which this oil can help with digestion, joint health, and hormone balance, especially after the age of 50 when your body needs more care. After seeing this video, you will have a thorough understanding of how to apply castor oil in ways that are safe, useful, and incredibly healing. An analysis of the facts pertaining to eye age. Let's start by talking about your eyes and the changes they go through as we get older. Many people think that vision loss is just a natural part of growing older. And while it is true that our eyes change with time, there are other factors to take into account. However, a lot of people might not be aware that the way we live has a big impact on how our eyes age. There are two different kinds of muscles in the human eye. One is made for short-range vision, like that used for looking at a phone or reading a book. The other is for long-range vision, like when surveying a field, looking at a mountain, or watching birds fly. The following is the problem at hand. We constantly rely on our short-range vision in the modern world. Televisions, laptops, tablets, and smartphones all demand constant focus and attention. But this kind of everyday stress was not what our eyes were designed to withstand. An imbalance occurs when the short-range muscles are overused and the long-range muscles are neglected. Strain, exhaustion, and perhaps long-term harm are the outcomes of this imbalance. It is clear that one of the causes of the rise in early cataract cases, dry eyes, and deteriorating eyesight is this. People as young as 30 or 40 years old may experience it. Here is an extra point that many people frequently overlook. Eventually, when mental exhaustion sets in, the effects of eye strain might become even more harmful. Your brain and eyes working together is what causes this. The eyes cannot perform their normal restorative functions when mental exhaustion sets in. For this reason, working on detailed details at night may actually impair your vision. Positive information can be shared though. You can improve your visual acuity by using your eyes for complex tasks in the morning, when your mind is clearer. Yes, that is correct information. When done earlier in the day, the same activity that causes eye strain in the evening can also aid in the growth of your eyes. Consider finishing any duties you are working on before lunch, such as reading, knitting, solving a crossword puzzle, or handling payments. The difference will be noticeable to your eyes. Here's an additional recommendation. It is recommended that you take a break around every hour, especially when using a screen, and look outside for a little moment. Determine a distant object, like a hill, tree, or cloud, and concentrate on it for a minute or two. This small exercise gives your long-term outlook the vital stimulus it needs. You could be thinking about how helpful this information is, but what about the dryness problem? What is the current state of the cataracts that are forming? In this case, castor oil is quite important. The efficacy of castor oil will be thoroughly explained in the section that follows, along with techniques for using it to naturally and safely calm and nourish your eyes. Castor oil, a natural remedy that is subtle. Let's talk about castor oil. For many people, the name castor oil conjures up fond childhood recollections or even curiosity. You might wonder how a conventional method can help with a delicate area like the eyes. One of this oil's special qualities contains the answer. The structure of castor oil is unique. Because it contains ricinoleic acid, it can enter tissues more deeply than the majority of other oils. Castor oil penetrates the skin and reaches the deeper layers where inflammation and damage begin, unlike lotions or drops that stay on the skin's surface. Because of this, it has been used for ages as a moisturizer, as well as a healing agent for skin, joints, digestion, and even eyesight. Let's go on to the details. For your eyes, castor oil provides a number of mild yet efficient advantages. In the first place, it hydrates the area around your eyes. Particularly sensitive areas are the eyelid and under eye area. Skin often becomes drier, thinner, and more prone to irritation as people age. To soften the skin, reduce fine wrinkles, and relieve nightly dryness, apply a single drop of castor oil to your eyelid once or twice a day. Furthermore, it helps reduce inflammation. Low-grade inflammation can worsen a variety of age-related eye disorders, including dry eyes, redness, puffiness, and even early-stage cataracts. Castor oil's anti-inflammatory qualities relieve this discomfort and speed up the eye's healing process. The third, and most fascinating, is how castor oil affects aberrant development like cataracts. The term cataract describes the clouding of certain regions of the eye's lens. These disorders may eventually cause blurred or impaired vision after developing gradually. While castor oil is not a panacea, many people have reported that a tiny amount applied daily can help slow or even reverse the development of cataracts in their early stages. The oil doesn't go straight into the eye. A drop is carefully applied along the eyelid, allowing the lashes and skin to absorb the oil. Although exterior application has also shown benefits, some people choose to administer a drop directly into their eyes. One woman told me that she had been told to get surgery for her early cataracts. I wasn't ready. Every night, I now apply castor oil on my eyes. My doctor told me that there had been no improvement after 6 months and that I could wait. That was 2 years ago. Let's make the situation more clear. This is not intended to replace medical treatment or make exaggerated claims. This has to do with giving your body a remedy that has been shown to work over time. Nothing is required of castor oil. It successfully creates the right conditions for the body to start the healing process naturally, gently, and gradually. Its strength is a result of this. It is not possible to put this solution into practice quickly. This is an ordinary act of attention, an effort made for the peace of your mind as much as for aesthetic appreciation. What should be the first action to take? Start with the fundamentals. Before you go to bed, make sure you wash your hands well and apply 1 drop of castor oil. Just 1. Apply it smoothly over your closed eyes after gently rubbing it between your fingers. That's the end of it. Free from annoyance, trouble, and effort, your eyes may feel more at peace in the morning, showing less dryness and more relaxation if you put in regular effort over time. The benefit is that in addition to helping your eyes, you are also improving the skin that surrounds them. A significant amount of fatty acids found in castor oil maintain collagen and improve its suppleness. As a result, there are fewer wrinkles, less puffiness, and a more youthful appearance overall. We shall explore more than just the eyes in the next part. After discovering the advantages of castor oil, people frequently begin to ask about its additional possible uses. Indeed, there is a significant response. Stay with me, please. The best prospects are yet to come. It promotes overall wellness for people over 50, going beyond simple vision. You now understand the mild advantages of castor oil in supporting eye health. However, many people might not know that the oil that has just been applied to your eyelid has a major role in aiding in the healing of other parts of your body, especially after the age of 50, when little annoyances can develop into long-term ailments. You may find that castor oil is a vital component of your wellness arsenal. We will start by discussing digestion, digestive health, and gastrointestinal well-being, a topic that affects millions of older adults every day. It is often known that as we age, our digestive systems slow down. We may notice bloating, constipation, or a heavy, lethargic feeling after meals. A lot of people turn to fiber supplements or laxatives, but often these remedies are really short-term fixes that don't address the root cause, which is inflammation and decreased intestinal motility. A compress made of castor oil can greatly improve the problem. The process of making a compress is simple. To begin, collect 1 or 2 tablespoons of castor oil, a soft cotton cloth, and a little piece of plastic to stop any leaks. Repeatedly fold the fabric, spread the oil evenly across it, and lay it across your tummy, just below the belly button. After that, cover the area with a towel and plastic wrap, and let it rest for 1 to 2 hours. This can be achieved while doing things like reading a book or watching television. To enhance absorption, a hot water bottle is frequently placed on top of the compress, but body heat is enough on its own. Would you kindly explain how this works? With its ability to effectively penetrate deep into the tissue, castor oil helps to break down congestion, reduce inflammation, and stimulate the colon's smooth muscles. It acts as a signal for your digestive system to start working normally again. I came across a woman who has been battling irritable bowel syndrome for almost 10 years, free from harsh medicines or unpleasant side effects. She had tried a number of things, such as probiotics, drugs, and special diets, but none of them consistently helped. She started applying a compress made of castor oil to her stomach 5 evenings a week. She started having regular bowel movements within a month. After 3 months, she no longer experienced any stomach pain. According to her, that was the first time I had ever felt my body working in unison with me instead of against me. It's amazing how effective natural cures may be. They function in harmony with female health, hormonal balance, and the body's natural cycle. Let's move on to another often overlooked factor: preserving hormone balance, especially during and after menopause. Hormonal changes with age can cause a number of problems: fatigue, mood swings, weight gain, irregular sleep patterns, and the appearance of fibroids or cysts are some possible symptoms. By stimulating the lymphatic system and encouraging detoxification, applying castor oil compresses to the lower abdomen can help reduce hormonal congestion in the reproductive organs. One of the most interesting stories I heard was from a young woman in her early 30s who had developed a large fibroid. She continued to feel uncomfortable even after leading a healthy lifestyle that included frequent exercise, a balanced diet, and adequate hydration. A scan revealed the existence of a fibroid that was larger than 3 inches across. She was really anxious before the procedure, and she turned to 2 sources of comfort. Herbal remedies and dietary changes can help support the natural hormone balance. In addition, castor oil compresses are applied directly to the abdomen every night. After a 4-month break, she came back for another scan. Her discomfort subsided. The fibroid shrank to 1 inch, and she was able to avoid surgery. Even though not every circumstance will undergo such a profound change, it is a powerful example of how continuous natural care can give the body the support it needs for slow self-healing, consistently, night after night. Articular pain and inflammatory reactions. Let's now discuss joint pain, a prevalent problem that many people over 50 experience at some point. A hurting knee, a stiff shoulder, and hand arthritis are just a few of the joint pains that are caused by inflammation. Applying castor oil straight to the skin, or using it as a topical compress, offers significant relief due to its deep, penetrating qualities. Let me give you a personal example. I had a wrist fracture from a fall a few years ago. I was still in constant pain and stiffness, even after the bone had mended. I started applying a compress made of castor oil to the wrist every night before going to bed. A few weeks later, the pain began to lessen. After 2 months, I was able to move my wrist freely again, reduce pain, and increase your range of motion. I apply that same compress almost every night, not because it hurts, but because it has become a part of my daily routine. A small act of kindness that helps keep flare-ups at bay and keeps my joints healthy. I spoke with a woman who had been dealing with arthritis in her fingers for over a decade. She started using a small amount of castor oil every night and rubbing it into her knuckles before going to bed. After 3 weeks, she showed that her fingers were more flexible and her stiffness had decreased. 6 weeks later, she was able to open jars again, something she hadn't done in years. You shouldn't think of these as miracles. The result is a reflection of giving your body the time and resources it needs to carry out its intended tasks, restore, revitalize, and restore balance. Breast health and scar tissue management. Castor oil has shown great promise in supporting breast health, especially for women who have had cysts or had surgery. It may help soften lumps, reduce fibrous tissue, and ease the discomfort brought on by the buildup of scar tissue when administered carefully to the breast area. I met a woman who had undergone surgery for breast cancer. After she recovered, she saw that the area around the surgical site had firm, painful scar tissue. She started using a warm compress made of castor oil every night. After 2 months, there was a noticeable softening of the tissue, and she no longer felt the constriction that had been keeping her awake at night. "It felt like my body had finally let go of the trauma," she said. This kind of emotional outburst is rather common. Castor oil does more than just have physical impacts. In many cases, it helps people reconnect with their bodies after illness or trauma. It creates an atmosphere that is soothing, cozy, and peaceful. What is the suggested usage frequency? Sustaining consistency is more important than effort. The majority of people find that using a castor oil compress 3 to 5 times a week is enough to see results. Sometimes people decide to use it every night, especially when dealing with more serious issues. For comfort and maintenance reasons, some people use it multiple times a month. There is no wrong way to get started. Only your own special approach. Pay close attention to your body's reactions. You are making positive progress if you are feeling relieved, at ease, or having better quality sleep. Remembering that a rise in quantity does not always translate into an improvement in quality is crucial. A small amount of castor oil works really well. Furthermore, the price and usability of your compress are improved by the capacity to reuse it for prolonged periods of time. I want you to think of this as a relationship, a link between your healing process and yourself, rather than just as a treatment. You can show your body that you are paying attention and that you care about its health by setting aside time to take care of it, especially with a mild and nourishing product like castor oil. The foundation of long-lasting wellness is the mindset, not any practice or product. How does one go about making and using a castor oil compress? Having acknowledged the important therapeutic benefits of castor oil, I will walk you through the exact procedures to make a compress at home. This method is simple, inexpensive, and requires very few supplies, many of which you probably already have for it. Your task's requirements. Castor oil, you can use any cold-pressed, hexane-free castor oil. Organic choices are advantageous, but they are not necessary. Regardless of its organic composition, castor oil shows promising outcomes. Cotton or flannel fabric. This could be a piece of sheeting, a washcloth, or an old t-shirt. Steer clear of synthetic textiles like polyester. It is advised to use plastic wrap or a plastic bag. To stop oil from leaking onto your clothes or furnishings, this is placed over the cloth. To properly secure everything, use an elastic bandage or cloth. Although it is not necessary, using a heating pad or hot water bottle can improve absorption. Comprehensive directions given in a step-by-step fashion. Start by getting the cloth ready. Start by folding your cotton or flannel fabric into several layers, ranging in thickness from 4 to 8 layers. The effectiveness of a thicker compress can be prolonged over time by retaining more oil. Applying the oil will take you to the next step. Drizzle the cloth with a small amount of castor oil. Start with a teaspoon or 2. The cloth does not have to be completely saturated. Castor oil applies gently and has a thick viscosity. Overuse could result in an unorganized result. Place the compress correctly and move on to step 3. place the cloth soaked in oil directly on the region that needs to be treated. Depending on your needs, the focus may be on the lower back, wrist, knee, belly, or even places around the liver or uterus. Cover with plastic and move on to the next stage. To protect your bedding and clothes from oil leaks, place the plastic wrap or bag over the compress. This is an important step since castor oil can leave stains on fabric and can be difficult to get rid of. Make sure the compress is secured before moving on to the fifth step. Use an elastic bandage or wrap the compress in a towel to secure it. You may easily fasten the towel around your waist when using it on a flat surface, such as the abdomen. Step 6. Spend some time relaxing and resting. For at least an hour, keep the compress in place. There are some people that use it for 2 or 3 hours. Some people choose to use it nightly, especially to treat hormone imbalances or joint discomfort. If you are not experienced with this procedure, it is best to start with an hour to see how your body responds. If desired, add a little heat. To improve circulation and absorption, place a heating pad or hot water bottle over the compress. Please make sure it's warm without being too hot. Your skin should be comfortable and never feel uncomfortable. What is the suggested usage frequency? Using the compress 3 to 5 times per week is a great place to start for most healing goals. When used daily for a few weeks, it may be beneficial for people with chronic problems, including arthritis, fibroids, or chronic constipation. Prioritizing consistency over intensity is crucial. It takes patience to use castor oil for healing. Even though results might not be seen right away, many people experience notable changes after just a few weeks of constant use. Techniques for keeping and using your compress again. With this technique, the same cloth can be used repeatedly after each treatment. Fold the compress carefully and store it in a tight container or Ziploc bag. Keep it somewhere dry and cool. It is not required to refrigerate. A small amount of fresh oil should be added once a week to keep it working. You may usually use the same compress again for around 3 to 4 weeks, depending on how often you use it. If you notice any odor, discoloration, or dryness, you should make a fresh one. Rules for guaranteeing security and safeguards. Unless prescribed by a physician, castor oil should not be consumed orally. In some cases, consumption may result in strong laxative effects and gastrointestinal distress. Castor oil compresses should not be used during pregnancy unless your healthcare provider has given the go-ahead. It is possible for castor oil to cause uterine contractions. Applying the compress directly to damaged skin or open wounds is not advised. Listening to the messages your body sends you is crucial. If you experience any discomfort, stop and modify as needed. There should never be any unpleasant, scorching, or stinging feelings when using castor oil. Deciding on the right castor oil. There are numerous brands of castor oil on the market. Making use of cold-pressed, hexane-free oil guarantees that you are making the right decision. Although the lighter, transparent variety of Jamaican black castor oil also works incredibly well, some people prefer the darker variety for its richness. It is not necessary to look for a unique brand or make a large financial investment. Significant healing benefits can be obtained even from inexpensive store-bought oil, especially when administered purposefully and mindfully. The castor oil compress's simplicity is the foundation of its efficacy. Discover a comprehensive approach to well-being, free from waiting rooms, prescription drugs, and drugs. Make a commitment to natural care and use your hands to focus on your body. Many people over 50 find that this nightly practice becomes more than just a form of therapy. Healing can take place at its own speed during this brief period of calm and stillness. Together, we have come a long way today. We have talked about things like eye weariness, joint aging, ongoing digestive problems, and the minor aches and pains that come with growing older. But more importantly, we have talked about the idea of hope. And I want to know whether you're with me if you're now watching. If this video resonates with you, type 1 in the comments section. If not, type 0. A reminder that the process of healing is frequently silent. Solutions do not necessarily have to come from a bottle with a label or a quick visit to the doctor. Subtle, modest things like a warm cloth, a drop of oil, and the daily dedication to self-care can all contribute to healing. I have known people in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s who thought their discomfort was just something they had to live with. But as soon as they gave their bodies even the smallest help, like a little oil and a moment's focus, they began to feel things they hadn't felt in a long time. People feel calm, relaxed, relieved, and, above all, have more faith in their own bodies. Even while there might not be noticeable results right away, perseverance will eventually pay off. Similar to the natural world, your body heals in cycles. That process will not be accelerated by castor oil. It will offer assistance in a kind, reliable, and discreet way. If there is just one thing I want to say, it is this: you're not a bad person. Any age might be a time for healing. Your body is still reacting. Kindly addressing it results in a favorable reaction. I hope this develops into more than just a new habit, regardless of whether you begin this evening with a single drop on your eyelid or tomorrow with a compress on your wrist. I urge you to stop, take a deep breath, and affirm your own worth at some point during the day. Because of your presence, I would be grateful if this video struck a chord with you, offered support, or caused you to rethink how you view your health.